Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen.
Good afternoon.
So we're just going to go through everything that's quarterfinal related from now on. Okay, so how the training is going to be over the next 7 to 10 days, kind of some tips and advice over quarterfinals, how to approach quarterfinals, and just kind of like what we learned from last year in quarterfinals, and just to get as much information across to you all as we're coming into kind of so the Open's just finished, and then we're coming into crunch time for what's probably going to be like the end of the road for a lot of people in the CrossFit season, and then what that can potentially then lead on to.
I feel like the natural place to start is this next 10 days. Well, it's just under 10 days now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Obviously, people can see what this week looks like, but have you got any kind of maybe extra tips that people should be thinking about now?
Yeah, so this week we're down as a deload, but there's plenty of intensity in there. For example, the Friday 10-minute bike test, which will have a separate video for you with some advice. And there's plenty of heavy weightlifting sessions in there. Still like a few workouts there. We've got regionals on Saturday, so there's still some doses of intensity. But what is important is that we're just having that little bit of a mental and physical reset just after the Open. Some people might have done the workout twice, and just that whole pressure of like 3 weeks of just being on edge a little bit about not knowing what the workout's going to be and then how to approach it, and just burn you out that little bit. So we just want to make sure that we get over that, and then we're in the right frame of mind, the body's feeling good for next week when it's quarterfinals. So that's why there's been a little bit lower in volume, but we've still got the sprinkles of intensity in there, just to make sure that we're staying sharp.
For next week, will it be similar? Will there still be 10 sessions before quarterfinals?
So the quarterfinals is Thursday. We've got it down as Thursday.
Thursday to Sunday.
So we've blocked out Thursday, Friday, Saturday and Sunday. The 4 days are just quarterfinal workouts. Hopefully CrossFit will give us a bit more information of when the workouts will be released. So we can maybe that might adjust. But for the time being, we've blocked out Thursday to Sunday. So Monday is going to be our last heavy weightlifting training session before the quarterfinals. Tuesday we'll do some aerobic work, but then we'll also just finish with a few little sprints, just to make sure that we can get that heart rate up to max heart rate that one last time, and then Thursday will be a recovery, really easy day of training, just to flush anything out, so we're ready so that's Wednesday, so we're ready for the Thursday.
Yeah. For those that maybe aren't, haven't qualified for quarterfinals, or thinking maybe I don't really want to do quarterfinals, what are you saying to those people?
So obviously we've just done the Open and we've had 3 workouts. So it's not always 3 workouts isn't always the best way to reflect your current level of fitness.
Yeah. Especially
with the types of workouts we've just done, which are all fairly inclusive. When we get to quarterfinals, it's going to be like that next stage of workouts where there's going to be a little bit more in there that's going to separate people, and the leaderboards are then going to level out as to more of a clear reflection of each athlete. Yeah. So for potentially anywhere between 5 to 7 more workouts over the 3 or 4 days, add them onto the Open workouts, and you've got 8 to 10 workouts to compare yourself with other people. I'm not saying that it's about making a comparison with other people, but it's just straight up stats data there as to this is what I'm good at, this is what I need to improve at, and that's invaluable information, especially because the rest of the world is doing it as well.
Yeah.
So like I said, whether you've qualified for quarterfinals or not, we would still recommend doing those workouts as much as you can. That's Jesse, 100% trying to get this issue right. I can hear it down the corridor. So even if, again, accessibility-wise and logistics, it's going to be impossible for you to do it in the 4 days. Some people will fall into that, they can't get time off work or whatever. Just try and get the workouts that are released done as close to that time frame as possible, so that you've got a good reflection of where you are as an athlete, and compare yourself and something that you can work from going forward. I think it's just very valuable for everyone to give it a go.
100%. Like you said, 10 workouts compared to 3 workouts. You've got all that data, all those stats against and then you can see, you know, who the people are in the UK that are in and around the same level as you. Like, what competitions have you seen that they're doing that you maybe want to give a try, or anything like that? It gives you a good idea of, you know, what to do for the next couple of months, like more information to plan your season going forward.
Yeah. And I think if you do have the time to be able to complete all the workouts and you've got the equipment and you can do the logistics, like, just try and make something of it with a few friends that are either in your gym or close by gyms. Make something of it, make something of the extended weekend. Get a little bit of competition going within your little group, and it'd just be a good experience to learn from going forward.
Prime time to do that is at this weekend's regional event. There's going to be probably a lot of other people who are, you know, at quarterfinals or going to do quarterfinals, even if they qualified or not. And again, if a group of you can get together, like, you're going to build those stronger connections. You might get together to train a bit more. It's perfect.
There we go. It's a good idea, that regional stuff.
Not bad, is it? Let's quickly mention about masters teams. So we will be programming, if you are in a team, if you are a master, if you are a team, we will be programming up until your quarterfinals as well. So the team quarterfinals are 2 weeks after the individual quarterfinals, and we'll just make it so there's a separate tab that's got a few more extras, or it might be a slightly different session to what's on the main body, and same for masters. It'll kind of be it'll be masters, teams, all in one tab, and we'll just kind of adjust little bits and put notes in so you know which bit exactly you are doing for that.
Is that going to live in the JST Athlete program?
Yeah, that's going to live in JST Athlete, so you don't need to sign up to anything else, it'll just be in there. So that's that. The next thing we should probably talk a little bit about is the weekend, because obviously we've gone through one quarterfinals, which probably which was very similar last year. But a lot of people probably missed doing quarterfinals last year maybe because they couldn't get into a gym. So is there anything that springs to your mind immediately that you're like, right, let's make sure that's sorted? Or
yeah, I think what we did well, I think it was actually you that did it, Jack, before the quarterfinals last year, was when the workouts got released, one of the first things that we did was like, right, what are the setups for each event? As in, like, where are the markings on the floor? Where does it need to be, like from a ring or from a wall, on rings or whatever? And then just made like a bit like they do on a film set, where they put like a little cross as like the tape needs to go here for this workout, and didn't tape out every single one because like a lot of things were kind of like in the same area. But when it came to each workout, it was like on the floor a little note, this is where workout one line needs to be, and it was just like when it came around to each day then, it was just another stress, and sometimes that can eat up 10 or 15 minutes just setting up a new workout. That was done, it had been done before, and then all that needs to be done then is actually marked, double checked, and you're good to go, rather than kind of like that process.
Yeah,
just dragging out and just being more of a stress on the day.
I know, but for last year, so the regional events were released on a Thursday last year, but it was a bit too late for us in the UK to do them on a Thursday, so we did them on a Friday. Like Steve said, the day before, we just went in, marked everything out, and made sure we had all the different bits of equipment that we needed, because there might be fractionals in the gym that maybe you need to borrow, or make sure you've got a tape measure, just really simple stuff like that. So just doing it the day before.
I think also if you've got a group, like we're going to have a decent group of athletes here doing it, if you've got a group of you doing it, then maybe allocate some jobs, maybe allocate a job that one person does, another person then has to go and print off scorecards. So for every athlete, they've got a sheet of paper with their name on, which is their scorecard, and then all the standards and all the stuff are just on there. And it just makes things, when it comes to the day, it just makes things just like run much smoother, less errors going to be made, less chance of having to repeat a workout because of a stupid mistake. And then you can actually focus your time into doing the workouts and how you're going to attack them, rather than like the logistics of the workout. Like, just get them out of the way and done early doors, and then start planning how you're going to attack each workout. Hopefully you'll have someone that can help you with the logistics as well.
Workout order as well. it might not be the same for everyone, will
No,
it?
it was different for everyone. I think the girls did it different to the guys last year. Here, obviously, it's very dependent on what gets released. But you start just to be good to be aware of like when do you lift the best, or when do you feel the best in longer workouts? Do you lift better after you've got a bit of tension? You've already had like a session in you, like a couple of days, like a day after a training day. So that if you've got the scope to move the heavier workout to like day 2 or day 3, like will you perform better then? And thinking about how when the workouts get released, like how will one workout affect another workout, and just creating an order if it's possible to create your own order. I know at the semi-finals they didn't let you
change.
they said you had to be certain days, but you could still like the order of those workouts on that one day could differ. So just thinking about it, and not just because like say if me and Jack are doing it, I'm not going to do the same order that Jack is just because we're in the same gym and he's doing it. Like just come up with the right order for you and move around however possible it is to be able to move the workouts.
Yeah, another good example of that is if there's a workout with some higher skill gymnastics in there, when you know you're a little bit fatigued, they tend to go to pot. Like that's obviously a workout that you would maybe put first, or like Steve said, if you find that after doing a day's training you got a bit more tension in your core, again you might then put the gymnastic work on the second day rather than the first day. So there's another example for you there as well.
Yeah. We'll try and get out as much kind of information in terms of like advice for the workouts as we can. Again, it just depends on like when they release the workouts, like how much time can we get to put some stuff together to help. Worst case scenario, we'll get a video up and we'll just rattle off like our first thoughts for each workout. But yeah, like you, we're in the same ballpark where we've got to figure out the workout as it gets released last minute. Yeah, we'll try and help you out as much as possible. But that's a great thing in the community chat as well. If you do the workout and you've got some advice or how you feel like it went, drop it in the group because someone's going to find that useful, even if it's just like they can just listen to what you've said and then they can take it on board if they want or not. Then I think that was a really good way in the open. A few people had kind of said how they'd broke something up or how they didn't break it or a technique they'd used, and a lot of people kind of then went on to input that into their attempt as well.
Yeah, good. For after quarterfinals, just so people know what's the plan there.
So the JCF program will have a deload for the week after quarterfinals, and that'll be like an optional deload in the sense of like if it makes better sense for you to have a week off training, like just have the week off training. There'll be some light training in there, but it'd be important just to kind of like mentally and physically just deload and just recover. Yes. If they're anything like quarterfinals last year, like they're going to be big workouts, they're going to be decent, they're going to write you off considerably. So yeah, the week after is a deload, and then the first phase of like the next block of training is going to be similar to kind of how we approach the first phase of this season's cycle, where we're just going to expose you to like as many different stimuluses as possible. Some stuff that's like a little bit out of the ordinary and new. Like last year, for example, we did an indoor triathlon. That might make an appearance again this year. But things like we had like trail running and more like strongman specific sessions, or like more of a focus on like a specific movement mechanics, like front rack positioning, and just kind of try and expose you to as many different elements as possible over a month period. For a few different reasons. One is just like another bit of a mental restore. Training has been very specific to gym setting, rig, barbell, rings, like burpees, like very much like what you do in the gym because we were preparing for the Open and quarterfinals. So it's good just to kind of like equal out that balance. CrossFit training is more than just like in the gym. So we're just going to open it up a little bit more, and it's arguably like a little bit more of a fun way to train.
It is.
Especially, it's more fun I guess when you've just been situated in the gym for every single session. The weather's a little bit nicer at that time of year, just going to get out a little bit more. And just cover a few different angles, and then, so that's going to be a 4-week period, week deload, and then we're going to get back into, I can't remember the exact date, I think it's like early May.
Yeah, mid.
Restart of like an off-season process through then the next year.
Awesome. For any athletes that qualify for semi-finals, what are we saying to them?
Congratulations.
Bit soon, but
yeah, we'll figure something out for you. We'll sort you out. So we'll get in touch, or you get in touch with us. I'm sure we'll recognise, if you've qualified or not. But we'll make sure whatever you need, we can get it to you and prepare you for semi-finals as much as possible.
Awesome. Is there anything else you want to touch on? Quarterfinals, maybe just training related, anything JST compete related?
No, just a reminder, this Saturday, regionals.
Yeah.
It's probably a really good time in terms of, it's 4 or 5 days out, last little chance to go big with a training session, push it with your mates, and just kind of try and get some hype going and kind of ride off that hype into the following weeks, quarterfinals. But also, there are also big training sessions. Just make sure you're doing whatever you can on the Saturday night and Sunday to recover, to make sure we're in good shape Monday when it's quarterfinals week.
Awesome. I just quickly want to plug the JC training camp that we've got running on the 16th and 17th of April. This is to anyone, if you pretty much qualify for quarterfinals or you were in and around there, you're good to go on this training camp. And then for May, we will be getting some workshops in for you in the next couple of weeks.
I've got a question for you.
Oh.
We've run training camps in the past before, many moons ago.
Yes.
What would you say about the athletes who went on those training camps back in the day?
Mm-hmm.
How has it helped them now over the years of training? Who's some examples of people that have been on the training camps and they've implemented it and it's been a success, and they've actually, although we're telling them they're going to have the best off season, how has it made? Who has it made better and how?
I'm going to give probably the best example.
Go on.
Zach George. I think a couple of things. One was the awareness that there's more to doing a movement than just doing a movement, a bit more about the why behind it, where you are now, how you can progress to that next level. Those are kind of the three, kind of key points I want to put across there. But developing from what we did a couple of years ago, just adding a few other things in there, like the mindset stuff, just little nuggets that I'll be dropping in between training sessions that, again, will just help build that awareness, like mid-training session, if something's not going right, how can I flick this round? Because that's something that we didn't cover back in the day when we did those training camps. But like I say, I think for a lot of people, it's that awareness of what they're doing right, what they might not be doing right, how we can tweak that, and then we can, like I say, put you on for your best off-season possible, because you'll have everything that you need to. You know what you're doing right, you know what you're doing wrong, you can go and work on that.
I think it's the building and understanding of what you're doing, why you're doing it, how to do it, which is the main thing, which you can learn a lot over a 2-day training camp. Example being someone like Zach George, who was a strong fit lad when he came to the camp, but he learned a lot of stuff, he implemented it and he's put it to use.
The gymnastics in particular.
Yeah, the gymnastics, like the EMOM work. There's a lad, James Lewis, if you remember James Lewis, he came to 2 of the training camps. He's then he's moved out to Las Vegas, but he's represented man-made CrossFit, went to the games, and he's now a serious athlete. We went and did a training camp down at Jolly Sailor, who have soon become 3 times SID champions, and it's there's a lot of people who are in those teams that were there when we went over and did the training camps.
Eleanor,
who then came onto our games team. We're plugging it because it's good and people have got a lot of value off it from in the past. There's a lot of people that are probably a bit newer to CrossFit from when we used to do them, but get yourself on board, and I'm sure you'll learn a lot.
Cheers, mate. It was good.